Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi Shrani Sadri, Vayassali Amri, Wal Uqdata min Lisani Yafqahu Qawli, Rabbi Zidni Ilma. How is everyone? Hope that you all are well, enjoying your learning. Okay. Today we are going to solve another paper, that is paper 1, Computer Systems, 047813. It's May, June 2024. The duration of the paper is 1 hour 45 minutes. You have to answer on the question paper. No additional materials are needed. You have to answer all the questions. You can use a dark blue or a black pen. You can use every pencil in order to draw the diagrams or anything that is there in the form of graphs. Write your name, center number, and candidate number in the boxes at the top of the page. Write your answer to each question in this given space. Do not use an erasable pen or correction fluid. Do not write on any barcodes. Calculators are not allowed, so please do not carry it with you. The paper is of 75 marks. The number of marks for each question or part of the question are given in brackets. There's no mark that will be awarded in case you are using the brand name for software packages or hardware. So please refrain from using the brand names. Now let's start the paper. Yes, exactly. We have solved many other papers. So if any one of you has not watched the video, then please do watch the video. They will help a lot in preparing for your exam, for your assessments, etc. So, and share with your friends also so that they all are going to benefit from it. Question number 1. The size of a file can be measured in different units. State how many bits there are in a byte. So simple one. The 1 mark question, 8 bits. State how many kibibytes, KIB, are there in 2 megabytes. So here you can see you are supposed to simply write down 2048. And if you think that you don't remember, then you can simply write down 1024 into 2 also. That is also possible. Identify the unit of data that is equal to 4 bits. So 4 bits means a nibble, exactly. So in this manner, in hardly a minute, you have scored 3 marks for question number 1, A, B, and C parts. See, so simple, isn't it? Okay, let's learn now. Let's move to the next question. Question number 2. An image has a 16-bit color depth and a resolution of 1000.1750 pixels. Part A. State what is meant by a 16-bit color depth. Here, the definition of color depth is needed, and 16 bits are used to represent each color in the image. So this is what is going to be the simplest definition for this term called color depth. The resolution of the image is changed to 750.1500 pixels. Give the effect this will have on the file size of the image. Now, dot is, Ali, it's basically the same as we normally represent the resolution in the form of multiply. So normally what we do is in our learning, we have learned that 1000 multiplied by 1750. Similarly, 750 multiplied by 1500. So similarly, instead of using multiply symbol or the symbol for multiplication, what they have used is dot, and that means something similar to what you learn in math, isn't it? So that is why don't get confused at what is this dot denoting. It's something similar to what you have learned earlier regarding the multiplication, okay? May I move ahead? Okay, now moving back to the question. The resolution is now changed to 750.1500 pixels. Give the effect this will have on the file size of the image. So earlier it was 1000 into 1750 pixels. Now it is changed. Changed means it is, now you can see it is reduced. So definitely the size of the file will decrease or the size of the file will reduce. Okay. So this is what you need to pay attention. The beginning was this much and now the change is, as you can see, is this much. So what is the effect in this? You can see for yourself, the effect is going to be, the change is decreased. So that is why the answer will be the file size will decrease. And that is very important that you can see that this is going to be giving you 1 mark. The size of the file will decrease or will reduce. Any questions? See, it's so simple. Just a little bit of the framing of the question is different, and it's something similar to what we have answered earlier, isn't it? Okay. A programmer is creating a computer game. One character is not moving correctly. The programmer needs to debug the program. To do this, they need to look at addresses that are locations in memory. The addresses are displayed as hexadecimal numbers. One address is A to F. Convert the address to binary. Now, A to F. Now, you know, just to make you comprehend, it's done with a little different color. A, 2, and F. A, the binary for A is 1010, that is 10. 2 is something very simple, 0010, and F is 1111. So in this manner, you have scored 3 marks so easily. And if you think that you cannot remember, now no worries, let me tell you the method also. You simply write down 8, 4, 2, and 1. Whenever you are solving the question, I suggest you that you do it like this, and then you will never forget, and you will always be getting the right answer. So you can do it this way. 8, 4, 2, 1, and then you can see in order to find out the value for A, 10, you will be turning on the bits 8 and 2. The one that are representing 8 and 2. Similarly, 2 is so simple, just the second bit from the right-hand side. And F means 15. It means 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. So if you think that you can forget, then that is not a difficult thing. You can do it this way. And still, you will be getting the right answer in a very short span of time. Again, a suggestion, you better follow this and you will inshallah be always on the, always getting the right answers. Now, part 2, convert the address to denary. Now, no worries. We have done the work from here and we know that is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. This is what we already know. But what are we going to do now is, since it is total of 12 bits, so we are going to move ahead, and you can see, very simple, what we are doing here is we are simply, just to make you comprehend, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. We have been doing it since the beginning. Now since it is 12 bits, means 128 multiplied by 2 is 256, 256 multiplied by 2 is 512, multiplied by 2 is 1024, multiplied by 2 is 2048. So in this manner, you simply do what? Just write it down in the same manner. 1010 for A, then 0010, and then 1111. And simply what we are doing here is we are simply adding all the values which have a 1, like 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8, then 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8, then 16 is off, and then 32 is on, and then 64 is off, and then 128 is also off, and then we have, 32 is, 1248 is on, 16 is off, then 32 is on, and then 64 is off, 120 is off, and then 256 is also off, 512 is on, 1024 is off, and 2048 is on. So we simply added all the values that have a value here, and you can see for yourself that this will give you the right answer in such a short span of time, isn't it? 2048 plus 512 plus 32 plus 8 plus 4 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. And in this manner, what you obtain is 2607. Easy? Yes? And you can do it yourself and you will come across again, no calculator. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Ali, for remembering this, that we are not allowed to use the calculator. Although the value is it seems to be seem to be a big one, but still no problem. You can still solve it so easily if you know this whole thing, isn't it? And you can see for yourself that the answer is 2607. Exactly, we have to use the working space. So always suggested that you use a working space so that the examiners can see your working also. May we move ahead? Okay. The binary number stored for another address is 0001 1001 1011. Convert the binary number to hexadecimal. Now, this is another part of the same question. And what we will do, we'll start from the right-hand side and we'll make a combination of 4 bits each. So you can see 1101 is one nibble, then 1001 is another nibble, and 1000 is another nibble. Again, we'll refer to the same, like the same as we had done here, 1248. Again, you can see it's 8 plus 2 plus 1 is 11, and 11 is B. Similarly, 8 plus 1 is 9, and this is 1. So in this manner, the binary value, this one is representing 19B in hexadecimal. Isn't it easy? Yes, exactly. That's so simple. But still remember that we have to start from the right-hand side. This very important thing that you need to remember, okay? Convert the binary number to denary. Now, this binary number should be converted to denary. Now, this is my, again, thing. Again, you have a total of 12 bits, so no worries. We simply are using the same. This 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, the same as we have done earlier. Then 256, 512, 1024, and 2048. No worries at all. Continue with the same, and then what we obtain is basically the, okay. This different color coding is done just to make you comprehend that after these 8 bits, there's any other one, then no worries. We simply carry on with the same and we get the right answer. Now, you can see 1101, 1001, 1000. Again, you can see we simply are going to add 256 plus 128 plus 16 plus 8 plus 2 plus 1. And this will give me the answer of 411. Easy? Okay. Now, do you want to do it yourself? Okay, no worries, do it. Okay, done? Maybe move ahead. Okay, now, part B. Give one reason why the addresses are displayed in hexadecimal instead of binary. Now, please remember, it's easier or quicker to read or understand or debug. It's a shorter representation of binary. It takes up less screen space. Now, remember, where binary and hexadecimal are actually equal, but the only change is that binary is going to take a longer string of zeros and ones on the screen, while on the contrary, hexadecimal is a shorter version. As you can see here, this one is binary value, and this one is a bigger value. On the contrary, if I am using a shorter version, that is definitely going to be like 19B. 19B is a shorter version, and that is occupying lesser space on the screen. So just remember, it takes up less screen space. That is very important. Okay? Just be very, very particular about this screen space. It's a shorter representation of the binary and it takes up lesser screen space. It is easier, quicker to read or understand or debug. These are your right answers. So this is what you can write, and any one point will give you 1 out of 1. Okay? Identify 2 other ways that hexadecimal is used in computer science. Now they have used one, definitely you will not use that one. And there are others also like HTML color codes, URL, memory dump, IP addresses. And by the way, I suggest that you better write down IPv6 address, MAC address, assembly language, error codes or error messages, ASCII code or Unicode. So these all are probable answers. So you can choose any two and you can write it down and then you will score. Okay. Easy. Okay. The health value for each character in the computer game can sometimes be a negative value. The negative values are stored as 2's complement 8-bit integers. A character has a health value of -25. Calculate the 2's complement 8-bit integer for -25. Show all your working. Now, this is a 2-mark question, and you can easily score if you have done the proper working and you have, like you have shown all the stages. For example, correct working will give you 1 mark and a correct answer will give you another mark. So just -25, what we have learned, just recall the same, ignore the sign and find the boundary of the number 25. So just for your for your understanding, it's done here. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 8 bits. And we have simply found the binary for 25, that is 16 plus 8 plus 1. 16 and 8 is 24 plus 1 is 25, isn't it? Now, say stage number 2, step number 2. Flip the bits, and step 3 is add 1. So the actual answer for 25 is 000110001. We have flipped the bits means 11100110, adding 1. And you can see 0 plus 1, a 1. 1 comes down, 1 comes down, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. In this manner, the value 25, which is stored as this one, when converted to -25, will be stored as 111000111. Easy? See, we have solved so many questions in a short span of time. So it means it is very easy. You have done everything well, then you can definitely score your score easily. Okay. Now, question number 4. The table contains statements about types of secondary storage. Complete the table by writing the correct type of secondary storage for each statement. Now remember, it's secondary storage. Very important thing is they're not talking about primary storage at all. They're talking about the secondary storage. Okay. First one, pits and lands are created on a reflective surface. Now, pits and lands, if you remember the term itself, tells you very easily, like this is optical. So what you need to write down, you don't have to mention the any name. You simply have to talk about the category here. So pits and lands are created on a reflective surface that is optical. NAND or NOR technology is used. Now, NAND or NOR, this is basically, you can recall, this is your, I'm just concentrating on the keywords so that we can recall solid state. Platters are spun that are divided into tracks and sectors. Platters and tracks and sectors. So these two terms are for your, which one? Magnetic, exactly. Now we have studied, just asking you, which word strikes your mind in this case? HDDs, exactly. But here, the term magnetic is okay. Electromagnets are used to read and write data. Electromagnets. Definitely, this word itself is depicting very clearly that they are talking about magnetic. Transistors are used as control gates and floating gates. Control gates, floating gates, transistors means that is solid state. So if you talk about the term control gates and floating gates, then basically this is your solid state. A red or blue laser. Now, red or blue laser is used to read and write the data. Laser, red or blue, means it is optical. There's no need to mention CD or DVD or Blu-ray. Simply write optical and you will be scoring your marks. Easy? Exactly, that's so easy. Now, a computer uses, question number 5, a computer uses both RAM and ROM. Tick one box to show which statement is correct about RAM. Okay, now you want to do it yourself? Now do it. And exactly, so simple. It is non-volatile storage. Is it correct? It is non-volatile. RAM is non-volatile. Now, it stores a bootloader. It stores data that is currently in use. It's not directly accessible by the CPU. That's also incorrect. It means that this is the right answer. So you simply put a tick and you will score your marks. Easy? See, this is how we have learned. This is what you need to remember. And this is how you will solve your question also, okay? May we move ahead? Exactly, that's so easy. Now let's move to the text part of the question. Exactly. Sometimes some of the questions are very, very easy, so that you all can score easily, isn't it? Okay. Now, ROM is a type of primary storage. State the characteristic of ROM that makes it a type of primary storage. What is the characteristic of ROM? Now, if you remember, primary storage means it is accessible directly by the CPU. Okay, now I hope that everything is clear. Till now, exactly. ROM and RAM being the primary storage means they are accessed directly by the CPU. So this is going to be your answer. Fine. Exactly correct. Question number 6. A sensor is an input device that is used to capture data from its surrounding environment. Circle 3 input devices. May we do it quickly? A minute. Will we be able to solve it in a minute? Okay, you have done. Okay, I'm not circling and you can tell the answer. Touch screen? Yes, exactly. This is the right answer. So touch screen. And then, okay, should I do it? Okay, now no worries, I'll do it. Touch screen is an input device. Hard disk drive, not. Headphones, not. Speaker, not. Microphone? Yes. Actuator, not. Universal serial bus drive, printer, and keyboard. So in this manner, these three are your input devices. By the way, just asking, hard disk drive, what kind of device is it? It's your storage, exactly. Headphones, output. Speaker, output. Actuator, output. Printer, output. USB drive, storage, exactly. So these are three are your input devices. And in this manner, you are able to score 3 out of 3 so easily, isn't it? Now, part B. Sensors can be used in an automated system. Give 2 benefits of using sensors in this type of system. Now, a general question is exactly what are the 2 benefits? You can see data can be collected without human intervention. It gathers data faster than a human. It will be accurate at taking the readings. It can take the readings 24/7 without getting tired, without getting bored. It can take readings in dangerous environments. So these are very general benefits of using sensors in any application. Any questions? May we move ahead? Easy, isn't it? Exactly. Yes, it's very easy. Now, can we move on to the next part? Now, the table contains different types of sensors and a use for each. Complete the table by giving a suitable use for each type of sensor. The first one has been done for you. Acoustic, to monitor whether a water pipe has cracked and is leaking and dripping onto the floor. Temperature sensor, humidity sensor, infrared sensor, magnetic field sensor. So out of these five, we are supposed to mention the uh, the application, the use of temperature sensor, checking whether the water in a kettle is boiling, monitoring the temperature in a room, that is climate controlled, humidity sensor, checking whether the air is dry enough in a spray painting garage, checking whether the air is moist enough in a greenhouse, infrared sensor, detecting motion in a room for a security system, detecting whether a person is approaching automatic doors. So that is the application of infrared sensors. And magnetic field sensors, counting vehicles that cross a bridge, monitoring vehicles that enter a car park. So if you have mentioned any one clearly, then definitely you will be able to score 4 out of 4. Easy? Okay. Question number 7. A company has a network that includes a web server. Data is transmitted across the network using serial half duplex data transmission. Draw and annotate a diagram to show how the data is transmitted using serial half duplex data transmission. So it's basically a 4-mark question, and marks are going to be decided in this manner. If your diagram is showing the bits being sent one at a time, bits are being sent over a single wire, data can be sent to and from because it's half duplex but not at the same time. So if you have paid attention to these minor details, you have drawn a computer in the web server, you have shown the movement of the bits along a single wire, and we have mentioned this important line. A single wire is used to send because they are saying annotate. So that is very important. Draw and annotate. Draw and annotate the diagram. So if a single wire is used to send the data one bit at a time, and again you can see since it is half duplex, that's why it will not be simultaneous, and that's why data can be sent to and from the web server, but not at the same time, not simultaneously. So if you have paid attention to these minor things, you have written everything properly, you've annotated your diagram, then 4 marks are yours. Easy? Exactly. Now, give 2 benefits of the company using serial half duplex data transmission for this purpose. Now, 2 marks. Bits will not be skewed because it's serial transmission. As the bits are sent in order, there's less chance of errors, less cross-talking or interference. Data can be sent over a long distance if needed. If it's possible to download and upload data to the web server, higher bandwidth than full duplex. Now, these are very simple answers, and if you have written any two of these, then definitely you are going to score 2 out of 2. Give one drawback of the company using serial half duplex transmission for this purpose. Now, one drawback of using half duplex data transmission. See, this is what we know. The data is going to arrive slowly at the destination. The data cannot be sent and received at the same time. Maybe more data collisions can take place. Now, these are like very simple things. The data is going to be a little slow in reaching the destination, and data cannot be sent and received at the same time. That is for half duplex, and one is going to be for the serial transmission. And this, in this manner, can easily score 1 out of 1, isn't it? Okay, now the company uses a proxy server to help protect the web server and the network from cybersecurity threats. Give 3 cybersecurity threats that the proxy server can help protect against. Now, what are the threats? DDoS, if you remember, like denial of service attack or distributed denial of service attack, hacking, malware, for example, virus, worm, spyware, and even brute force attack. So if you have mentioned any 3 of these, then 3 marks are yours. Now, part number 2. Identify 2 functions of the proxy server that can be used to help protect the web server and the network. 2 functions can limit the number of requests sent to the web server at a time, can process common requests that will not need to enter the network, act as a firewall, examining incoming data to the web server or to the network, can have set rules, criteria for data to meet, can have a blacklist, a whitelist, or list of IP addresses to block, blocks traffic that doesn't meet the criteria, closing certain ports. So just a general discussion that we had in the class. So you can recall the functions of the proxy server, and you can write any two functions. And these are the answers that were in the category of being accepted. So you can write down any two that are present in the book, which you have learned in the class, and definitely 2 marks are yours. Okay, easy. Now, part E. Customers access the net company's web pages that are stored on the web server. Describe how the web pages are located, retrieved, and displayed on a customer's computer. First thing, how the web pages are located. Then, how are they retrieved? And then, how are they displayed? Now, this is the whole process. So let's start recalling what have we learned in the class. We have talked about the role of DNS, exactly, the URL is typed. So when you start the process, what do? You first of all type the URL. And where do you type? In the address bar of the web browser. So if the student has written the first point as the user is typing types the URL into the address bar or the web browser, what happens next? The web browser is going to send the URL to the DNS, domain name server or domain name system. The DNS searches for the matching IP addresses. If found, it returns the IP address. But in case the DNS is not able to find the IP address, it sends the URL to the next DNS, if you can recall the diagram that we have done. But by the way, if you are not able to recall, then the video is there, which you can watch for the working of the DNS, how it does. And inshallah, you'll be able to manage to answer such questions also. By the way, exactly, the video for nearly each and every topic is uploaded on the YouTube channel. So please watch it, and do not forget to click on the bell icon so you are getting the latest updates. Fine. So all the videos are there. Watch them and keep on learning. Okay. Now, coming back to this, URL typed in the web browser, the URL is searched by the URL is sent to the DNS. If it's able to locate the matching IP address, well and good. Otherwise, the request is sent to the next DNS, and the web browser sends request to the IP address or to the web server. The web server sends the data for the web page to the web browser. Now, after the communication is established, then the URL equivalent IP address is found, the connection is established with the web server, and now the web server is going to start sending the data to the web browser, and this will result in communication to take place. The web browser renders the HTML data to display the web page, and this is how the data is displayed on a computer screen. The web browser, like your any web browser that you are using, is going to render the HTML data to be displayed on the web page. Easy? Any questions? Okay, that's great. Now, please remember the important points that are highlighted in a little bold so you can recall that these are very important, that they should be a part of your answer. Fine. Rendering the data, like the web browser is rendering the HTML data to display the web page. Now, question number 8. A student has a computer that has a CPU, a central processing unit. Describe the role of the CPU in the computer. It's a 2-mark question. And what is CPU doing? To process instructions or to process the data, to run the fetch, decode, execute cycle or FE cycle. Now, if you write these 2 points, then definitely you will be able to score 2 out of 2. The CPU contains registers. State the purpose of a register. So what is a register doing? To temporarily store data or instructions or address, to allow immediate access to data during the fetch, decode, execute cycle. So if you have written any 1 point out of the 2 mentioned, then you will definitely be able to score 1 out of 1. Now give 3 registers that are built into the CPU. Now CPU has MAR or memory address register, MDR or memory data register, accumulator or ACC, program counter, PC, current instruction register, or CIR. So if you have remembered these 5 registers, you know they're working, then definitely you will be able to score 3 out of 3. So easy, isn't it? Any questions? Any ambiguity till now? Okay. One component in the CPU is the arithmetic logic unit, ALU. Describe the purpose of the ALU. Now, what is the purpose of ALU? To execute instructions, to perform calculations. By the way, if you pay attention to the 2 important words, arithmetic is one and logic is another. So just break it down and then you will be able to answer very easily. Now, what is arithmetic actually? It says to perform calculations. So which are the calculations? Okay, fine, exactly. Addition, subtraction, uh, and definitely multiplication and division is done by successive addition and performing the shifting. So division and multiplication, if you remember exactly that we have learned that this is done using the logical binary shifting, so that is also possible. It's performing the arithmetic operations and logical operations. Which are the logical operations? Exactly, and or and not, finding out the highest, finding out the lowest. These all are sorting the data. So these all are logical operations and they are performed by ALU. To store interim results of the calculations, stores or reads or writes data to or from the accumulator. So these are some of the functions of your ALU. And if you have written any 3 properly, then 3 marks are yours. Now, the same question was number 8, part B. The student wants to replace the CPU to increase the performance of the computer. Explain why a different CPU can increase the performance, can improve the performance. So if you recall, what are the reasons? More cores means it will increase the number of fetch, decode, execute cycles. It can perform at the same time. It could have a higher clock speed, which increases the number of fetch, decode, execute cycles. And it could have a greater cache size, means more frequently used data can be accessed faster. And these are just simple, very few of the answers which student can write, and he will be able to score 4 out of 4. So you have mentioned the cores, you have mentioned the clock speed, you have mentioned the cache size, and you can even mention the width of the address bus and the data bus. So you will definitely be able to score the marks. Okay, now question number 9. A printer runs out of ink and needs a new ink cartridge. An interrupt is sent and a message is generated to notify the user that the ink cartridge is empty. Complete the paragraph about the use of an interrupt in this process. Use the terms from the list. Some of the terms in the list will not be used. You should only use a term once. And which are the terms here? Binary, clock, computer, data, error, fetch, decode, execute cycle, hexadecimal, higher, interrupt queue, ISR, lower, printer, priority level, secondary storage, sorting, transmission. Now, out of these words, the paragraph has a few blanks. The dash sends an interrupt to the dash. So the printer, and now since the question itself was dealing with the whole process, if you pay attention, they are talking about the term printer. So printer runs out of ink means that actually here they are talking about the printer. So printer, the printer sends an interrupt to the computer. Definitely the computer send the interrupt. The interrupt is given a priority level. Now remember the same that we have learned. The interrupt is dealt in such a manner that what is its priority? The processor completes its current fetch, decode, execute cycle and checks the interrupt queue to see if there's an interrupt with a higher priority than the current task. If there is, it stores the current task and fetches the interrupt. It then calls interrupt service routine or ISR, which is a sequence of instructions that handles the interrupt. The interrupt is handled, which generates a message to the user to notify them that the ink cartridge is empty. Now, if you reread the passage, if you reread the whole paragraph, printer is sending the interrupt to the computer. Interrupt is definitely given a priority level. If you remember, some interrupts are immediately processed and some are delayed ones. So that is a priority level. The processor completes its current fetch, decode, execute cycle and checks the interrupt queue to see if there is an interrupt with higher priority than the current task. If there is, it stores the current task and fetches the interrupt. It then calls the interrupt service routine, which is a sequence of instructions that handles the interrupt. The interrupt is handled, which generates a message to the user to notify them that the ink cartridge is empty. In this manner, 7 blanks written answered properly, and you will be able to score 7 out of 7. Easy. Now, handling interrupt part B. Handling interrupt is one function of an operating system. Give 2 functions of an operating system that relate to memory. Memory management, and multitasking. Okay, now that ends this paper. Okay, now how was this learning? Did you enjoy your learning? Okay, that's wonderful. Great. Jazakallah khairan kasira for being a part of the learning journey. If you have liked the explanation, subscribe the channel. Do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you are getting the latest updates of all the videos that are uploaded. Stay tuned, share with your friends and family, and take very good care of yourselves and your loved ones. May Allah bless you. Allah Hafiz.